has the distinction of riding a Birdsville Cup winner. The youngster brings up Picture Perfect. The red light goes on. NJT National Apprentice Race Series field in the hands of the starter. About to go. They're off and racing. And from the inside, Clever Keza bounced out first into stride. Celtic caught quickly. And Ionics is going to roll forward soon after the start. Getting back on the inside, Wee Ripper. Being followed by Picture Perfect. They're being followed after a length, Cockatiel. Kelly's Gem in the back half early with Street Fair. And back there last of all, Majestic Man. Over by the 1400 metres they go. And Clever Keza held the front for Chloe as a party from WA. Bo Banovic Edwards goes up there with the grey Onyx to sit outside of her. And they've got the pace ramped up at the 1200. Over 2 lengths clear now from Celtic Court, given a great ride early on by Chris Graham. A length away then is Wee Ripper, who's around the outside for Dan Morgan, covering a bit of extra ground, being trailed even wider still by Street Fair, who was parked on a limb there for Campbell Rawilla from Victoria. He's right out there 4 deep and improving quickly as the speed slows. He wants the front. He's going to go around them now and try and take them on, and he'll get there almost. He goes to the lead. Street Fair kicks a length and a half in front. Clever Keza and Ionics. Celtic Court back on the outside as Kelly's Gem pushes up on the inside for Lockie Neendorf of South Australia. A length and a half to Picture Perfect, being followed by Majestic Man back there for Shafrizzle Bin Saleh from Singapore. And down on the inside next to last is Cockatiel, coming around the turn for Christy Bennett. At the 450 at Street Fair, who'd made that mid-race move. In front, tackled again by Clever Keza. Ranges up, gets the head in front, brush with Ionics at the top of the home straight. They've got away by about 2 lengths to Picture Perfect. Kelly's Gem looking for an inside run. Celtic Court down the outside. Wee Ripper making ground as well as Ionics reaches the lead. Picture Perfect is starting to cut the margin down with 100 left to go. Ionics and Picture Perfect. Picture Perfect over on the outside reaches the lead for Queensland's Aidan Thompson, and Picture Perfect won. Picture Perfect by more than a length. Second probably Wee Ripper deep out for Dan Morgan of the Territory. Won't be much in it though with Ionics, who ran bravely behind them for Bo Banovic Edwards. Then came Cockatiel. Next time Majestic Man running on from last ahead of Celtic Court. Street Fair had dropped out. Kelly's Gem didn't come on, and back there last is Clever Keza. Picture Perfect for the Queenslander, Aidan Thompson. Number 2. The 18-year-old from Queensland has landed the money here in the second leg of the National Apprentice Race Series. Patient ride. It was all unfolding in front of him, and then gathered in Ionics down the outside, snatching second late Wee Ripper for the Territory's Dan Morgan, and the first of the West Aussies home, Bo Banovic Edwards aboard the Roy Rogers trained Ionics. 2, 8 and 6 the official placings. Celtic Court, Chris Graham is back there 4th in 150.33. 1 1/4 and a half ahead of the margins after the 7th. The sectional is 37.24, but they ramped up in the early part, and then as soon as they tried to take a breather, around them went Campbell Rawilla with Street Fair, who was parked wide, so he decided to take matters into his own hands. Street Fair, unable to go on with it, had blown out, and this has been set up for Picture Perfect. Second up, the reset perfect size gelding for Peters Investments, trained by Grant and Alana Williams, to run over the top of them and beat Wee Ripper by Blackfriars out of Away We Go, trained by Justine Erkelins with Dan Morgan aboard, and Ionics by Dash for Cash from Dark Rock, Roy Rogers, Bo Banovic Edwards. And hopefully the start of a big weekend coming up for Bob Peters as well in Melbourne, and here of course in the Natasha. Race 8, 5 after 5. Take out 10, 15, 16, 17 and 18 from the last event of the day. Let's go downstairs, and Scott Embry is with RJ Peters after this victory, which will give him a nice deal of satisfaction too, with the visiting Queensland lad getting home to score, Aidan Thompson.
Absolutely, I'm sure it will, Darren. I've got Bob with me now. Bob, before we talk about this horse, shall we talk about the rider, Aidan Thompson? Did you get to have a chat to him before the race?
Yes, I did. We had a bit of a talk. I explained to him that it was the worst barrier at Ascot, and to watch out, they'll come from the inside and they'll come from the outside, but he knew what he was doing, and he'd watched the horse's previous race, and I think he's a young lad with some potential, because I just ask him to get in, save the ground if you can, and cut the corner. Don't go wide, and but do whatever you have to do in the race to win. So that's what he did.
So just ride him like W. Pike would. It's pretty easy instruction, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, they're easy. We don't have to tell William because it's the same instructions every week.
And this horse, Picture Perfect, only second up this preparation. What sort of opinion do you hold of him?
Oh, I think he can win. Hopefully, he can win some staying races in the future. His full brother won the Derby here and then did nothing for a couple of years and then came back and won some more races. And then we sold him as a jumper and he won the Grand National, I think it is, or something. So, you know, there's a bit of staying blood in the family.
What are your excitement levels like for the weekend, Superstorm and Regal Power?
Well, you know, everything's worked out well, so that's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Usually something goes wrong, but so far nothing's gone wrong except that we couldn't win a race. But we've run a couple of seconds and both horses are coming off placings, so hopefully they can go one better this week.
There was a little bit of talk about whether William Pike will go Regal Power or Superstorm. What was your impression of which way he would go?
I think he found it hard to make a decision, but I think he stuck with the proven commodity, and as it worked out, he got the good barrier that suits that horse, and I'm sure that he'll be happy with his decision.
Congratulations, Bob, and good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.
There's Bob Peters. Our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience are off to a break. I've got winning rider with me now. Yes, I do. Thanks, Darren. I've got winning rider Aidan Thompson with me. Aidan, tell us a bit about your background.
I just sort of started out bush, and then after I started getting a few winners there, I just I wanted to go somewhere just a little bit bigger, and I went to Brisbane just with a smaller stable, but you know, they helped me out a lot, and they've put me where I am now. So just being able to ride around different parts of the country is really good. It was a pleasure to ride here today. It's something that I've probably wanted to do for a while. Ride with Pikey was one of my dreams. I wish I got more rides so I could have a ride with him, but I get to sit next to him in the room.
Maybe you can get a photo with the matching silks, both in the cerise and white. Now tell me, are you a natural left-hander, or is that something you just did today?
Well, I am natural left-handed. I can hit my right, but just the horse wanted to lay in just a little bit, and I had the grey one in front of me, just sort of wanted to lay out on me, so I just used my left hand.
Congratulations, Aidan. William Pike has around 1 million photos with Bob and Sandra Peters, but you make sure you get one yourself.
Will do, thank you.
There's Aidan Thompson there, the winning rider from Queensland here in the National Jockeys Trust National Apprentices Race Series aboard number 2, Picture Perfect.